Alright guys, I was cut off yesterday as I was talking about Ppdp video number 6A, Professor Wang from Northern Illinois University. Naughty, naughty, naughty. Okay. Anyway, he talked about the 6 C's, and just to refresh your memory and refresh mine. Context, concepts, content, components. You use all these to connect and create, okay? He provides a list of terminology to help students categorize their images. All right. He used an example by a Colleen Drebhol, D-R-E-H-O-B-L. I believe that's one of his students. He believes that the challenges, and he's found, I shouldn't say he believes, he's found in his class that the challenges for students don't come from finding interesting images or semiotic images, but from coding them, because so many images have multiple codes depending upon the perspective of the coder. All right. That's quick video, but that's it. I'm going to move on now to, well, you know what? Let me see if I can find another Ppdp. There we go. This was, I believe it was Kevin Taven and Stephen Carpenter. I'm not sure. I missed the first few minutes of the lecture. Bad. So I don't know who this was. Another really academic kind of lecture, but it was called Beyond the Reconceptualization of Art Ed. Beyond reconceptualizing it. We don't even know what the reconceptualization is, and they're already moving beyond. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. But whatever. Okay. He said, moving from visual culture from traditional art making, which as an art teacher, no, I like, kids like, they need to make art. They need it. They need the hands-on nitty-gritty stuff. They don't want to hear about visual culture. They don't need another academic class. They need to create and produce things. So I'm sure he would agree with me, but maybe it just didn't come out right. Okay, we need to figure out what is the current state of art education. In the 1920s, art education was basically creative self-expression. In the 1960s, the movement started towards discipline-based art education, which was, of course, ratified, do I want to say, in the 1980s. Okay? These were the landmarks for the current art education systems. Art making, looking at art. All right. Experience the Power. There's a book called Experience the Power of Art Education by Jan. Didn't catch it. Don't know. This guy, this presenter, very good, very interesting speaker, very articulate. DBAE has been criticized as being too Eurocentric and too academic, which leads me to think that maybe Mr. Taven or Carpenter or whichever he was, I'm so sorry, I don't know, doesn't believe that we're seriously moving into a totally visual culture curriculum in art education. Okay, the 1990s heralded a call to include visual culture from Duncombe and Friedman, who were the antecedents to this impetus, this movement. Arts-based research, community pedagogy, images, saturated public and private spaces, which they do, and I think we're doing a disservice if we don't talk about pop culture and these images that these kids stare at for a third of their waking hours. Okay, this is Ppdp video 7. I'm seeing if I have any more from Saturday before I move along. I think a lot of the other ones were going to be of interest to the, hopefully, to the grant participants. But other than that, no. Okay, all right. It's just overall, and I have, 2 more days to go through, but overall it's been really nice to hear that these highly educated art educators, they're as much up in the air as anyone. No one's come up with a definitive thing, but there's all these ideas floating around: video or visual culture, material culture. I can't think of the other one floating around that I've never heard before. I learned the definition of semiotics over the weekend. Honestly, I'd never heard of material culture as a curriculum. So, new ideas, new things to ponder, and new things to keep your eyes open for, because you don't know what you don't know until you hear about it. So, very cool. All right, thank you. End of tape.